I have not done anything wrong. After very careful consideration, I've decided to follow my counsel's advice and not testify or answer any of the questions today.
Lois Lerner back during the House oversight hearings into the IRS targeting scandal, basically pleading the Fifth Amendment. And when a witness does that, you figure they have a right to be concerned. That was why so many of us were surprised by the news late last week from the Department of Justice that it would not file charges against Lois Lerner's involvement in targeting conservative groups. For more on this story, we're pleased to be joined via Skype from Houston, Texas, by the president of True the Vote, Catherine Engelbrecht. True the Vote, one of the groups targeted by the IRS. But Catherine, this came with a very real cost to you personally, did it not? All that the IRS was up to?
Absolutely. For 2.5 years, the things were happening behind the scenes that I was not telling anyone about because of the stigma, right, of being audited and investigated and being forced to answer hundreds and hundreds of questions by the IRS. Now we all know that it was happening all over the country.
When you heard that the DOJ was not going to investigate or criminally prosecute Lois Lerner, what was your reaction?
Another day at the office. I mean, I had no reason to believe that they would do anything about it. I mean, you got to remember, JD, that the same people that said that the IRS examination or IRS investigation was over on Friday, those are the same attorneys that are representing the IRS in their court case against us. This is all part of a piece, part of a lawless administration that will do anything to protect itself and to tie up loose ends before the coming presidential election.
And, of course, a complicit media in Washington, D.C., acting as if it's an amen corner, like there's nothing to see here. Catherine, we only have about 45 seconds left. But do you think we ought to go down and rename the agency the Department of Injustice? And what's the one thought you want to leave our viewers with here in 30 seconds?
One thought is that we need to now dig deep as Americans, remember why we believe what we believe, and be prepared to have our voices heard through our votes next November at the ballot box. This is a rogue government that is trying to police itself and failing miserably. The power rests with us, and we need to be willing to take the reins back, or we will have a country that will continue down this slide.
Catherine Engelbrecht, tonight from Houston, Texas, we thank you very much for your time. Now let's turn to Catherine Engelbrecht's attorney, Cleta Mitchell. Cleta is a partner at the D.C. firm Foley & Lardner. She joins us from Pinehurst, North Carolina. We should point out, for purposes of full disclosure, back when I was an elected official, Cleta served as my campaign attorney. Now that disclosure is out of the way, but Cleta, I need your candid answer. Why did the DOJ make this decision not to charge Lois Lerner in criminal fashion?
Because I don't think they did a real investigation, and they just were, I don't know why, I'm not surprised that they said what they said. They never interviewed any of the victims. To my knowledge, they did not interview a single victim of the IRS targeting. I don't think they looked at the myriad ways in which Lois Lerner lied to Congress prior to the time when she pleaded the Fifth. I don't think they looked at any of the misdeeds. One of the things that she did was she turned over confidential taxpayer information for thousands of tax-exempt organizations, and she sent that to the Justice Department. But guess where she sent it? She sent it to the same group in the Justice Department that was conducting the investigation. So this was a sham investigation. They talked to me only after I testified to the House Oversight Committee that the DOJ investigation was a sham, and nothing has happened to change my opinion.
Cleta, we've got about a minute and a half remaining. My question for Catherine Engelbrecht and others is this. Can they seek civil remedies against Lois Lerner in this situation? Can they sue her?
Well, we have sued her. True the Vote has sued Lois Lerner sued her individually, as well as others who were sharing the effort to deny tax-exempt status to these organizations, including True the Vote. And we are awaiting, we're on appeal. The lower court judge decided it was moot because he looked at the IRS website and said, oh, they say they're not doing this any longer. So we have briefs due in December at the D.C. Court of Appeals. We hope that the court will reverse that, send it back, and let us have a trial.
So if you get to trial, do you think that one day, somehow, some way, Lois Lerner will pay for targeting conservative groups? 20 seconds.
Likely not, because remember, she destroyed the evidence. All of her emails for the pertinent period of time are gone, so they say.
Well,
so,
in the old days, I thought that was called obstruction of justice, but I guess in the Obama administration, you get to skate. Cleta Mitchell, not exactly optimistic, but you're a straight shooter, and we appreciate your time. Thank you so much. Straight ahead, he says he wants to restructure entitlements, but has no problem with his own sense of entitlement. The real problem with Paul Ryan as Speaker up next in The Way I See It. So stay with us.